Hello friends, in this video we are going to look at the topic that came out in the 1991, 2002 and 2020 WAEC examination, and that was on the structure of what? Ear. Okay, so we are going to learn about the structure of the ear in this video, and also we are going to draw the ear. My name is Divine Gift Oluchuku Oluchuku, and this is Divine Gift Lectures. I'll keep on uploading more videos, so if you haven't subscribe now, click the like button on this video, also comment, and also don't forget to click the notification bell. Alright, so let's get into business. So we are looking at the ear. The ear is the sense organ for hearing, and what is also the organ for balancing. It's the sense organ for hearing, and it's also the organ for balancing. The ear is made up of three regions. We have the external ear, the middle ear, and the internal ear. Okay, so in drawing it, we are going to start from the external ear. I will go back to the middle ear and the inner ear. All right, so we are going to start with a part of the external ear called the canal. Okay, so we have the pinna. So this is the pinna. Okay, now the pinna is made up of cartilage that is covered with skin. Pinna is made up of what? Cartilage that is just what? Covered with skin. It is trumpet shaped also. Alright? It is trumpet shaped, and it is the only part of the external ear and the ear in general that we can actually see. Other parts of the ear are actually embedded in the skull so that it will be protected. But the pinna is what? It's outside. Okay, it's the only part of the ear and the external ear that we can actually see. The pinna is what? Only present in mammals. We have other animals apart from mammals, and what? The pinna is not present in them. So the pinna is only present in mammals. And as I said before, it is what? The part of the ear that what? This is the only part of the ear that we can actually see. And the pinna leads to the ear canal, which we are going to draw later. So what's the use of the pinna? The pinna is used to what? Collect sound waves from the environment and what? Pass them through the ear canal, and what? Pulls them what? Makes them to be impinged on the eardrum. Alright, so it actually collects, the function of it is to what? Is to collect sound waves, and it passes them through the ear canal to the what? Eardrum. It just functions like a funnel. You know a funnel? It collects water and passes them into the vessel, and that's what? The same way the pinna functions. It's what? It collects sound waves and passes them through the ear canal to the eardrum. So this is the pinna. So we have the pinna. We are going to draw the next part of the external ear, which is the ear canal. Okay, so this is the ear canal. It's bent a bit obliquely. Okay, it's bent oblique. It has the shape in which it's what? Bent obliquely, in order to what? Prevent objects just moving straight forward from what? Harming the middle or internal ear. So it's bent obliquely, and we are going to see that the ear canal contains what? Fine hairs. It has hairs. Okay, it has hairs in it, and it also what? Contains glands. And what do these glands secrete? What do they secrete? They secrete wax and oil. Okay, the wax and oil present in your ear is secreted by those glands in the what? In the ear canal. And now, what's the use of what? Those wax, the wax and the what? The oil. The use of it is to what? Actually trap dirt and prevent them from reaching the middle and the inner ear. Okay, so it prevents dirt from reaching the middle and the inner ear. Of course, we know that what? That will actually cause harm if it actually what? Reaches it. So that is the function of what? The wax. So this is the ear canal. And the ear canal is also called the external auditory meatus. The ear canal is also called what? It's also called the external auditory meatus. Okay, so this is the ear canal, and at the end of what? The ear canal, we have a thin membrane that is stretched what? Around it. It's stretched, it's covering it, and it's at the end of what? This ear canal, and it's called the tympanic membrane, commonly known as the eardrum. Okay. So see, this is the tympanic membrane, commonly known as the eardrum. Alright, so it is also called the eardrum, as I've said. And it's what? It's stretched at the end of what? The ear canal. It covers it at the end. And it's what? It's a thin membrane or skin. So what's the function of the eardrum? As I said before, the pinna collects sound waves. It passes them through the ear canal and what? To the what? Eardrum. Now when the sound waves reach the eardrum begins to vibrate. Alright, the eardrum begins to vibrate, so that it vibrates at the same frequency that what? The sound waves actually what? Vibrates in. Okay, it vibrates at the same frequency of what? Of the sound waves. Alright, so I'm going to label this as what? Our tympanic membrane. Also known as eardrum. Okay. So now we are done with what? The external ear, and we are going to move over to what? The middle ear. We are going to move over to what? The middle ear, and the middle ear is a chamber. The middle ear is a chamber that is filled with air. Okay, it's a chamber that is filled with air. It is air filled. And it starts with what? The tympanic membrane at this side. And on the other side, we'll know that what? We'll notice that it has an oval window and a round window. Okay, so it has the what? The oval window and the round window. There's a tube that leads from the middle ear. There's a tube that does what? It leads from the middle ear to the throat just at the back of what? The nasal cavity. Okay, it leads from the middle ear to the throat just at the back of the nasal cavity, and it's called the eustachian tube. Okay, so what's the function of what? The eustachian tube. As I said before, this place is filled with what? Air. The eustachian tube connects the what? The middle ear to the throat, just at the back of the nasal cavity. And what? Its function is to collect air to fill this place. So why is that important? Why is that needed? Now we know that what? This place is actually exposed to the what? Atmosphere. And air is present here. Okay, air is present here. Now the air here exerts a pressure on this side, on the what? On the tympanic membrane, also called the eardrum. Okay, exerts a pressure, and what? The eustachian tube functions so that what? It will bring air to fill this place, and what? Exerts an equal pressure so that what? It will balance the pressure what? Applied here. If not, if the pressure is what? It's not balanced, the tympanic membrane is going to burst. So that's the function of the eustachian tube. Now we are going to draw the last part of the middle ear, and we're going to see that there are 3 bones in the middle ear. They are called the ear ossicles. Okay, they are called the ear ossicles. They are small and they are light. Okay, they are the lightest bones in the body. Alright, so they are what? They are called the ear ossicles, and there are 3 of them. Okay, there are 3 of them, and we are going to draw them now. So first of all, we have one that is in contact with the tympanic membrane. We have one that is in contact with the tympanic membrane. We're going to draw them with another color so that can see there are the ear ossicles. So we have the what? The one that is in contact with the tympanic membrane. And this is called the malleus. Okay? This is called the malleus. Then we have one that is in contact with what? The oval window. We have one that is in contact with the oval window just here. And it is called the stapes. Okay, it is called the stapes. Then lastly, we have one, I'm going to label all this later. And I want you to note that what? There's one that what connects both of them. Alright, the third one, which we know as what? The incus. So now we're going to label all this. Okay, so let me give you boundaries for you to see it clearly. So these are the ear ossicles. So these are the ear ossicles. Now, as I said before, the first one is what? The first one is the malleus, and the malleus is also called the hammer. Okay, the malleus is also called the hammer. So we are going to label it as such. Okay, malleus is also called the hammer. Then we have what? The incus. Alright, we have the incus, which is what? Also called the anvil. Then lastly, we have the stapes, which is also called stirrup. Okay, so those are the three ear ossicles. Alright, so now we are going to go over what? To the internal ear. But just before we go over to that, we must know that what? We can see that these three bones are connected one to the other. This one is connected to this one is connected to this. And we know that when two or more bones meet at a point, the point where they meet is called what? It's actually a joint. Okay, there's a joint where both bones actually what meet. So the joints at what? The points of connection between what the malleus and the incus is actually a hinge joint. The hinge joint is, for example, this the joint at our elbow. This is the hinge joint. Okay, it cannot move further beyond this place. So that's the hinge joint. While the joint between what the incus and the stapes is the ball and socket joint, like we have in our shoulders. All right, the ball and socket joints. Okay, so now we are going to move to the internal ear. We're going to move to the internal ear, and we are going to see that the internal ear is made up of basically two parts: the cochlea and the vestibular system. Okay, we have the cochlea and we have the vestibular system. And I'm going to draw this with blue so that you can actually see this clearly. Okay, so this is the cochlea that what I've just drawn. This is the cochlea. Okay, so now we are going to move over to the vestibular system. The vestibular system connects to the cochlea. I want us to know that. So first of all, we have the circle. This that I've just drawn is what? Is the circle, and this one is the ventricle. Okay, that one is the ventricle. There. So we are going to draw 3 canals, and they are what? Semicircular in shape. You know that semicircles are what? Half circles, and what? It's going to be semicircular in shape. So we are going to call them semicircular canals. Alright, so I think we are going to clean up this label it somewhere else for what we want to draw. Then so let's go and draw our what? Our semicircular canals. Okay, so this one of the what? Semicircular circular canals. Then we have the third of what? We have the third of the semicircular canal here. Okay, so this is the third semicircular canals, and all of them are at what? Right angles to each other. Okay, they are at right angles to each other, that is 90 degrees. Alright, so this one is at right angles to this and this. This one is at right angle to this and this, and this one is also at right angles to this and this. Okay, so we have 3 semicircular canals. So this is the vestibular system, and this is the cochlea. We're going to draw something called, just before we label, we're going to draw something called the bony labyrinth. So what I'm drawing with these broken lines is actually what? Bony labyrinth. The bony labyrinth is actually the outer covering of what I've just drawn. Okay? So the dashed lines I've drawn in what? Black and what is the what? Bony labyrinth. Now the labyrinth just means what? A system or pathway that is what? Complicated. As you can see, what? All these canals, they are actually what? Seeming a bit what? Complicated. Okay, so it's called the labyrinth. And the outer labyrinth, as I said before, is actually called what? The bony labyrinth, because it's bony. Okay? Bony labyrinth. Then we have the inner what? The one drawn in blue that I drew before. Okay, we can see there are still pathways and canals that are a bit complicated, but it's not bony like this one, the outer covering. So we are going to call it membranous labyrinth. Okay? Membranous plus labyrinth. Okay, so as I said before, this is the cochlea. This is the semicircular canals. These are the semicircular canals. And the swollen end that I drew in all of them is that they're actually called what? You can call them the ampullae. Okay, that's the ampullae. Then we have this one. This is the utricle. This one is the utricle, and this is the sacrum. Okay, so now the cochlea is used for hearing. It's part of the ear, actually. The final part of the ear used for hearing. While the vestibular system, all of this is actually what? Is the part used for balance. Okay, it's the part used for balancing. Then we have nerves from the vestibular system and from the cochlea leading to the brain. There are two, okay? But in general, they are called the auditory nerve. But they are divided into two, one from here going to the brain, and one from here still going to the brain. Alright, so we are going to draw them now. And the two of them together are called the auditory nerves. So as you can see, this is nerves that are just drawn. We are going to call this the cochlea nerve. And what? This one is going to be the vestibular nerve. Okay? The vestibular nerve. Okay? The cochlear nerve. So, together, as I said before, they join to give what? The auditory nerve. In general, we can say that what they are the auditory nerves. Okay, so this is it for what the structure of the ear, and this is the diagram I've just drawn. Also try to draw it the way I did, and what you just be able to answer what past questions that occurred in WAEC 3 times. Alright, so if you like this video, don't forget to press the thumbs up button. I'll also be uploading more and more videos, so don't fail to subscribe. Okay, subscribe and keep watching. God bless. I love you. See you in my next video.